Meeting order, the Village Council regular meeting, May 13th, 2025 at 7:01 p.m. If we could please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We had a lot of extra help tonight. That was nice.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll, please?
Cook,
Here.
Kemp.
Yeah.
Helmut, absent. Ross,
Here.
Nicosia.
Here.
We have a quorum. Item 4, approval of the agenda. Is there a motion on the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the amendments of changing item 9I to item 9A. So we will move special applications, special event application, autism awareness, open mic, Centennial Park to item 9A. And then I'd also like to add an additional item 9J for the resignation of Maureen Helmut.
Support.
Okay, motion made by Kemp, seconded by Nicosia. Any discussion? All of those in favor say aye. Aye. Any nay? Motion carries. We have an amended agenda. Number 5 on the agenda this evening is public hearing. So the first is the second reading of the amendment to Code of Ordinances, Chapter 34, Article 4. This is our fire prevention, Section 34-96, open burning ordinance revision. Is there a motion to open the public hearing? Make a motion to open the hearing.
Support.
Okay, hearing opened at 7:03, made by Ross, seconded by Nicosia. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any nay? Motion carries. This public hearing is open. If anyone would like to speak on our proposed new fire ordinance, please feel free to step to the podium. Okay, seeing no one approach the podium, we can go ahead and close that public hearing at 7:03. 7:04, thank you.
Support.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries. That hearing is closed.
Who supported?
Ken, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Cook, Ken. The second public hearing this evening is for our delinquent bills and violations to be added to the 2025 tax roll per ordinance 321, section 70-78D. Need a motion to open that public hearing? So moved. Ross? Seconded by Kemp. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. The public hearing is open at 7:04. Okay. If anyone would like to speak during this public hearing, this is regarding adding our delinquent water bills and other violations to the 2025 tax roll, please approach the podium. Seeing again, no one moving, we will go ahead and move to close that public hearing. Second. Cook, Ross at 7:05. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. That hearing is closed. Our third and final public hearing is budget adoption and food and taxation. I'll make a motion to open that public hearing at 7:05. My clock's different than yours. 7:05. Cook, Ross, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, this public hearing is open. If anyone would like to speak to our proposed budget, please feel free to step to the podium. Okay, seeing no one moving, we will go ahead and move to close that at 7:05. Second. Cook, Ross, all those in favor say aye. All right, next is our call to the public generally. So this is for anyone who wishes to address council this evening about any issue that may be on your mind. Please feel free to step up to the podium. No takers. Go ahead and close public comment. There will be a second opportunity later down in the agenda. Next is our consent agenda, item number 7. The first one are receive and file items.
Motion to approve consent agenda, item A, items 1 and 2, correspondence, letters, and communication, and item 2, department reports.
Support.
Okay, motion by Nicosia, seconded by Kemp. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any nay? Motion carries. Next is our consent agenda for our approval items.
Motion to approve consent agenda items B, 1, 2, and 3. Approval of minutes from April 8th, 2025, April 15th, 2025, budget workshop. Bills in the amount of $155,077.06, and the monthly budget report, treasurer's report, budget amendments.
Motion by Nicosia, seconded by Ken. Roll call vote, please.
Cook,
Yes?
Ross,
Yes.
Nicosia,
Yes.
Kent,
Yes.
Motion carries. Those items are approved. Moving on to item 8, our unfinished old business. This is our DDA Oakland County ARPA project, the gazebo refurbished.
And council, in your packet is a rendering from Joe Latoza from Design House and Architects. Just as an FYI, if you recall, this project is part of the crosswalk project as well as some other improvements in the area and the refurbishing of the gazebo in Centennial Park. And part of that is also, you'll see there's an ADA ramp being installed on the rear side of that. They looked at a couple different layouts, and having it come off the rear kind of gets it closer to those entering the ramp that would be parking in the handicap areas right behind the park, makes it a closer access for them to get to the ramp and up around the back. Initially, they had it kind of around the side and wrapping around it differently, but they came up with a different design after they had some conversations with the DDA. So it's just more of a kind of a heads up. They're getting close. Everything ready to get to put this out to bid. So
Joe, curiously, the text is a little bit smaller here. Is the electrical being addressed in here?
not in this particular bid because it's good, but we are. And Rudy's our DPW superintendent has met, and I've talked to Kimberly as well at the DDA. We want to keep them kind of separate because they're totally two different animals.
Okay.
But he's kind of pulled together some bullet points, and I even have given those to Joe from Design House to let them know that we don't want to mix them together because they're just so different trades and stuff. But yeah, we were looking at that separately.
Okay, thank you.
We want them to be able to, the DA and their people come out there and be able to plug in and have the covers on the plugs without us having to leave it unlocked and open overnight and stuff like it has happened in the past. So
Do you have an idea of when this work would take place? Obviously, it needs to be done before the end of next year. I
this
assume it would be
summer,
this
they're
year.
still looking at it this summer. I would assume
Yeah, it has to be done.
after the concerts in the park are end of June, first part of July. What are they? Okay, yeah. So probably right after the concerts in the park are wrapping up.
Okay.
So that could be, I think, July and August. September is a lot of window there.
Is this just information only at this point?
Yep.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
Yeah, this was brand new, given to us. They had to redesign it, and he got it to me just the day before the pack was going out. I said, it'd be nice to at least kind of show you something so you guys can see where we're at on it, where they're at on it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to new business. First up is the special event application 25-08 Autism Awareness Open Mic in Centennial Park.
And-
I know we have some folks in the audience here about this, so if anybody wants to speak about it, feel free to step up to the podium and tell us your name.
We gotta love it.
Hello, I'm Melissa South, and this is Peyton Rushman and Kimberly Bowe. We are fifth graders at OES who are approaching exhibition, where we do a presentation on a certain problem or topic. We will need to take action to try to help the cause we are researching. Our topic is autism, and we'd like to host an open mic night in Centennial Park to raise awareness. We have already submitted an application to the DDA, which was filled out by my mom, Kelsey Lisa. Start the concert with our MCs, aka us, and informing them what it is, what autism is, and what the child can do. We would like to invite autistic and non-autistic people to the concert. You might think, how will people know about it? Well, first of all, we plan to hang flyers around our school informing people about the open mic night as well as the date and time. My mom could also advertise a digital version of our flyer across social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram. We would like it if this concert could take place on June 10th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Centennial Park, downtown Oxford. We hope we can get approval for this event so that autistic people can be heard people know more about autism and can overall have a fun time. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
Very well done.
Thank you. You'll be excellent MCs, I can tell.
Boy, for fifth grade, that was well presented.
Very, very good. All right, so I see we have a completed event application. There's no conflict with the date according to Mr. Madore, so it should be good to go there.
Happens to be during our council meeting that month, so.
Okay.
So we'll have to run over,
You'll sing a song after?
quick meeting and, you know, wrap up here quickly and get over
Get
there.
out of here.
Yeah, I'm known to run a really quick meeting, so I think we can do it.
I will make a motion to approve special event application 2508 and approve the requested waiver for waiving the deposit and insurance costs.
Or
Great. Motion by Ross, seconded by Nicosia. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any nay? Motion carries. Your event is approved. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. Thank you.
Good job.
Great work. Next up is the special event application, and feel free to continue to watch the meeting as long as you'd like, or if you want to scoot out, I totally understand. So. Okay, the next up is the special event application 2506, March with Oxford in Centennial Park, and I know we have some representatives as well. If you'd like to speak on it, feel free. Otherwise, I know we're familiar with the event. It's been successful over the past few years, so. Yeah, if there's a motion from council, we can go right ahead with that too. Sure.
Yes. I'm not sure if that one got in. Initially, when it came in, I put it in there and I had to reach back out to Madeline, I think it was. Yes, and she got me back when it does have the signature for the waiver on it. I'm sorry, that one didn't make it in the packet, but we do have it on file. Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve special event application 25-06, March with Oxford in Centennial Park, and grant the insurance and deposit waiver.
Second.
Okay, motion by Kemp, seconded by Ross. Any discussion?
It doesn't say, police presence, I don't know what we need to do.
As long as Chief Mike's aware.
Yep.
And, yep. Is there anything else? I caught him off guard, talking to Chief back there. So, you're aware of March for Oxford, probably fire and police are aware, so to be able to support as much as normal.
Yep, the application's been shared with the fire department, the schools, and the township as well. I'm not sure if they connected with the township or not, but they all have the information.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any nay? Motion carried, and passes and event is approved. Thank you so much for coming in. Next up is our special event application 2507 for the Memorial Day Parade at Centennial Park.
Again, the application's in your packet. The folks at the American Legion have provided us the information, and Chief Sowell's map, everything is, nothing has really changed. I have shared this with Chief Majestic, so they are aware as well, because they do get towards the edge of town there. They have provided insurance, but I believe they're looking for a waiver of the deposits. Initially had it checked, they don't have it, so he did sign for the waiver of the deposit. So the insurance is in there, so the waiver below would be just for the deposit.
Is the township aware of this event? I mean, it's standard
Yeah.
as well, so.
I will make a motion to approve special event application 2507 and along with the deposit waiver approval as well.
support.
Motion by Ross, seconded by Nicosia. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nay? Motion carries. Approved. Next is the second reading of the amendment for our fire prevention ordinance. Is there a motion to approve the second reading?
Motion to approve the second reading of the
Okay, motion by Nicosia, seconded by Kemp. Any discussion?
I think just to state the obvious, the biggest thing is banning campfires.
Bonfires.
Bonfires in there. Out of an abundance of safety and how tightly close all of the buildings are to each other, I think this makes sense. And I think it's just, we're updating to today's standards. So not a whole lot going on other than that, but there are changes, so make sure you read through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that it's very much consistent with the township's ordinance, which is easy for people to, in the fire department, to not have to differentiate different jurisdictional lines. So positive all the way around, I think, too. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Nicosia,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Kemp.
Yes.
Carries. The second reading is approved. Next is proposed resolution 2505, the budget adoption.
The resolution is in your packet there, as long as the tax rate request for the L 4029.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2505 to adopt the 25-26 year budget as presented.
Support.
Okay, motion by Kemp, seconded by Nicosia. Any discussion? Met several times over the month to go over this budget, so. If there's nothing further there from council, do a roll call vote to approve?
Cook,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Kemp,
Yes.
Nicosia.
Yes.
Okay, the motion carries and our budget is adopted with that resolution. Next is resolution 2506, the delinquent utility billing and violations, to adopt there.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2506.
Support.
Okay, motion by Ross, seconded by Kemp. Any discussion?
I have a question. So I went through and looked at everything. Obviously, our folks have been notified. What happens if somebody moves still within district or like there's one example, they moved buildings. Are we really going to, it's $25,000? Do they know about it? Like,
I don't know, okay,
They get two notices, yes,
okay. To their new address?
whatever we have on file, yeah.
Okay.
because usually they'll call us and then move their name over to the new address.
Mhm.
So there's communication over the phone typically that way as well.
When they make that communication, there's nothing that pops up about anything delinquent.
I don't know, that'd be a Vicky question. Vicky handles all
Not me.
those. Yeah, front office,
Not me.
other Vicky,
Oh,
front counter Vicky. That's her email, front counter.
I don't know if it does, because all you're doing is changing the name, but she would look at it and see if they had a
It
ban.
would automatically
Yeah.
cross.
Mhm.
It's kind of an odd number to be left over too.
Is it,
And we do accept payments. People come in, when we send the notices out, hey, you know, you got this going on your bill. Several people do come in and pay. I think a few of them paid down what they
Yeah.
could, so a smaller amount was placed on the taxes too.
I mean, some of these have even gone up.
No, because it's only for last year,
Yeah, they gotta be 6 months old to
Got
go
it,
on
okay.
there.
not the new bills.
So these have been as of December 31 amounts. So they have to be like 6 months old to get
Is
on
there
the
anything,
taxes.
at least from the business standpoint, that the DDA can help to support this?
I don't know, short answer.
something to look into as far as, yeah, where the bills are coming into, what area. Yeah.
Were anything about the envelopes differ from, like, is anything about like the edge of the envelope, like red or something? Or
Well, there are postcards that go out.
Okay.
And we used to have the red, they're all with blue background, they're pre-printed in blue, and then we print black data into them. For a
Talking
long
about the
time,
bills or the notices?
I guess. I
Oh,
want
yes,
to make sure
yeah.
the notices
Okay.
show up differently. We get so much junk.
because
Well,
we
it
don't,
comes up
yeah,
with the
If something
villages,
comes out like
The difference
obvious,
between
like,
the notice and the bills, is that what you're asking?
the
yeah,
notice comes in the Village of Oxford envelope.
yeah, well, the bill is just a postcard. So it's definitely a different look to it.
It's a different look.
Business envelope with our logo on it.
As long as it's distinct. from the stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's different. Yes.
I'll also mention for the water and sewer bills, I think our residents know about this, but maybe not all of them, so I'll just mention it. The Great Lakes Water Authority Water Residential Assistance Program is available, so it's income-based. I believe up to 200% of the federal poverty level, and that gets people in a bill that they can afford based on the amount of their water bill and their income. And then also the Oakland County Water Resources Commissioner's Office developed the hardship assistance program. So that's for the 200 to 300% of the federal poverty level for a household that's experienced a hardship. So that could be anything from a loss of job or a death in the family or something that comes up that you don't expect. And that can pay up to 3 months of someone's water bill or up to $2,000 of their past due invoices. And so maybe going forward, we could put those flyers in the notice as well if it is a water-related issue.
And we do have those conversations sometimes when they come in, and I even lady was in last week before the deadline and trying to make some payments, and I asked her about it, and I said, well, it's right on the front page of our website. But I went back and I called because if you recall, the OLSA, Oakland County used to handle that, and now it switched to the United Way. And I said, I haven't double checked. So after she left, I went back and I called that number and made sure, and they were answered right away, and they were, yep, people from your community, you can still call us. So it was still a good connection, and they're still answered, and it was pretty easy to get a hold of somebody. So we do try to point people in that direction and remind them, or at least enlighten them, let them know.
Yeah.
And I think I'll double check though, and those notices going out, that this kind of information is included in there as a heads up. They can read it at the same time.
Yeah.
We also I'm seeing that on the homepage. Can we also make sure we put on the Facebook page and whatnot? Remember the program for summer watering sewage
That
credit
did go out.
that did go out?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. We can keep posting it though. Everybody sees it, so.
Thank you.
Any other discussion or questions? No? Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Kemp,
Yes.
Nicosia,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes. Motion carries. That resolution is adopted. Next is the proposed resolution 2507 for West Nile. This is the West Nile Virus Fund Program.
Yep, we've been doing that for, I don't know, 20 years or so. It helps the DPW get the items from the county to put in our catch basins and stuff for mosquito control, like mosquito dunk, I think they call it, or, yeah.
I will make a motion to approve resolution 2507.
Support.
Motion by Ross, seconded by Nicosia. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Nicosia,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Kemp,
Yeah.
Ross.
Yes.
Next is 9, I don't even know what letter it is because we moved them around, but the Moyer Street contract. award
Yes,
recommendation.
right. Yeah, let me get caught up myself. So, and Paul's here from Roll, you may remember Paul from before. So we had our bid opening. We only had a couple bids, but they were in range at least and below our engineer's estimate, so that was good. Paul's reviewed some of those and has a recommendation to award that project in the packet. And that's a recommendation. The company is Synergy. It's a local company, and they plan on working on having another local company, BSI Paving, to do the actual paving of the project once they're done with the underground work. It's $799,046 was their bid. So I think, well, it was like 3% below, wasn't it, Paul, of the engineer's estimate or something like that? Yeah, 3.8% lower than the engineer's cost opinion. So,
Could you remind me again, when is this project potentially scheduled for?
well, as I was working on my letter of notice to the Moyer Street residents prior to the meeting, as long as Eagle approves our water permit, which they've had for well over a month or so now, we plan on starting like the week after 4th of July.
Are we done for trick-or-treating this year?
Yeah.
Yes, they were, when we had, after the bid opening, our discussions with them, it sounds like a whole different approach, better approach, and it sounds like they want to hit it with a large amount of people to get it done sooner, because it fits a window that they have.
Great. We have part.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have been anywhere near Halloween last year, and we should not be this year either.
Yeah. I just want to point out that, Mr. Medora does a great job of coordinating, as always, our water main work with, sewer inspection work, with the street paving, so it all gets done at once. So now, as we know, we did Park Street last year, so now Moyer Street will be all freshly repaved with a brand new water main. So it'll make a big difference for everybody who lives on that street. So,
Yeah, because every now and then those folks that still have the old galvanized line coming into their home, they just can't get the volume to it because of the corrosion inside the line. Just
right,
they build up
water pressure.
corrosion. Yeah, they can't get the volume through. So there's only 7 homes I think on this stretch that need to have the interior leg done though. So more of them had been updated just over the years on their own. All of the ones, but of course the main and goes over to the curb stop are all we knew, but several of them have already replaced, upgraded the part from the curb stop into the home.
Is that a motion I heard?
I'll start, yeah. I'll make a motion to approve, the Moyer Street contract award for energy development specialist, not to exceed $799,000.46.
Support.
Motion by Ross, seconded by Nicia. Any discussion?
So the funds that were, looks like, I was reading through the write-up, that Roe created, it looks like the funds that we're bringing to the table are now a little bit below what we were expecting.
Yeah.
Because some of the water also,
Yeah, because we were awarded with a grant through MDOT a maximum of $239,000, and then some of those work is participating funds and some are not participating. And there was an email going back and forth today too about some of the ADA work, sidewalk work that they want to clarify because she had the lady woman at MDOT had missed some of the notes. So that's a movable number. Let's put it that way. It could creep back up. We want to take advantage of the full 239 if we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Ross,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Kemp, Nicosia.
yes.
Carries, that contract award is approved. Next is the Moyer Street Construction Engineering.
Okay, number 9H is in your packet. Very similar situation where we have in the past, where they have an on-site personnel there, and a lot of the work is on the front end that Paul does in going through into bids and getting them out to bid, but then there's a lot of work. We're still working on the closeout of the Park Street project, and of course, there's issues with that project that are causing that, the finishing, to be put together. It's still not going to be closed out for a while. So a lot of the work that they do isn't just this on-site work that they're there during the project work. It's a lot after the project work as well as what's rolled into this. So, Rowe has a couple of main changes and a couple of sections of their contract. Bob and I discussed those a week or two ago. We want to iron out those wrinkles.
It won't be difficult. I've talked to Paul. I just have one or two sentences that I want to work through a little bit. As you recall, I'm not a fan of limitations on liability for gross negligence. So just one sentence we got to clear up.
So that's before this is.
No, I think we can go forward with it, and I think the sentence will get clarified.
Yeah, so the agreement as written for the construction stake and engineering on site and then observation and stuff and the testing is $89,300. So if you were to approve of that, for me to sign that once it's been approved by Mr. Davis.
Joe, do you have, do you have rates established, in case there's an unforeseen change in scope or, timeline?
Yeah, they have different rates.
Looks like 9 weeks. Reading this correct?
Yes, and last year, I think the engineer's estimate of time was maybe 8 weeks, whatever, and it ended up being like 18. So that was a lot of a problem. We had some liquidated damages coming at the end, the penalties for the contractor. And Paul was trying to be a little more cautious this year and extended it out a little bit. So, but then after now meeting with the new contractors, I don't think they're going to need that much time. They're talking like 6-7 weeks or something like that, perhaps. And so we might even save a little bit off that. He did move the goalpost out a little bit for us this year to not come in high and have it be so far over. Because they don't manage the project and tell them how to do the work. It's up to them to man the work and do the work. They're there to take measurements and quantities and things like that.
But there are pre-approved hourly rates. which I
Yeah,
think
Okay.
but they have different rates for different personnel as well too. Yeah.
Is what you're.
Yeah, let's make sure we get that up front so that.
Yeah. Because they do like reviews for site plans and stuff for us throughout the year as well. We use some of those rates come into play there.
Thank you.
If there's no further discussion, I'll make a motion to approve the professional services, construction engineering contract from Rowe for the amount of $89,300. And authorize our village manager to sign that contract once it's approved by our village attorney.
Support.
Motion by Cook, seconded by Nicosia. Any discussion further? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Cook,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Nicosia,
Yes.
Kemp,
Carried. Item 10 on the agenda is reserved for items removed from
What,
consent.
we got 9J.
Oh, we sure
We
do.
have one more.
Okay. 9J. This is, we received a resignation letter from Councilmember Maureen Helmuth, dated today, May 13th, 2025. So we need a motion to accept that resignation.
With great regret, I will make a motion to accept the resignation.
Okay, is there a second?
Motion dies for lack of support.
There's support. Ross, any?
Reluctant second.
Okay, motion by Kemp, seconded by Ross. Roll call vote.
all right, Kemp,
Yes.
Nicosia,
No.
Cook,
No.
and Ross.
What's the process if we actually reject?
Oh, we'll tell
Okay,
you.
so,
Did you say yes or no?
She hasn't voted yet. Let her finish her vote.
Okay, so the motion fails. So
So-
it'll be on the agenda of next month.
yeah, that's all you need to know.
It's not effective yet because you guys didn't accept it unanimously. So it goes to next month's meeting.
On to 10 then, items removed from consent agenda. There are none. So we'll move to the second instance of public comment. If anyone would like to address council, please feel free to step up to the podium. This could be anything on the agenda or off the agenda. Librarian, Mr. Copier.
Good evening.
Good
It's been a
evening.
long time.
Good have.
I was hoping that I'd have a newsletter to share with you this evening, but unfortunately, things are running behind schedule. We do know that they were allegedly delivered to the post office today, so they should be landing in your mailbox at home probably before the end of the week. That being said, I just want to share with you, if you haven't been in the know so far, this is Oxford Public Library's 100th anniversary year. We're very excited about that. I'm excited about that because in 100 years, I'm only the 5th head librarian this town's had. So we take great pride in that, as I do as well. Additionally, I just want to share that we are planning a 100th anniversary gala and fundraiser that will be held on July 25th, 2025, at Indianwood Golf and Country Club. Because it is a fundraiser, we want to have fun, obviously, and celebrate 100 years, but because it is a fundraiser, it is $100 a ticket. But that will include dinner, drinks, live auction, and a silent auction, and music as well. So it's a great event. And our goal, obviously, is to have fun, but we want to raise as much money as we can for the endowment fund as well. You can purchase tickets right through the website, our website at miopl.org. They are actually up, and it will take you to a direct link through the Fort County Community Foundation where our endowment is held. And you can purchase your tickets right through there. And then once you share that, once that information is shared with us at Fort County, we'll actually mail you, because it's a commemorative thing. So we have actual tickets for this event that we're gonna mail out. So we're excited. Also, summer reading is gonna be kicking off here real soon as well. All of that information is in this newsletter that you will be getting too. So exciting. And I'm also working on curating an exhibit of the first 100 years of Oxford Public Library. And once that's ready, which should be toward the end of this month, the first part of June, that information is going to be in the newsletter too. So lots of stuff going on, needless to say. Sorry it's been so long since I've been here, but if you didn't know, this past year I had a family emergency that kind of took me away for most of the summer. But I'm very happy to be back in full speed. And it's great to be back, so thank you.
Welcome back and thank you so much.
See you in 100 years, Brian.
Anyone else like to speak under public comment or move on? All right, we will move on then to our committee reports. Noda?
Yeah. Those, but I'll take it. I'll-
Go right ahead. Good.
Go. They're ragging me. They even want to make sure they show up this week, which I am. So, none of things have been going well. There has been substantial amount of growth in a very short amount of time, since everything passed in the fall. So they're still working out some wrinkles, but they've been doing kind of an exceptional job doing it. So if you are, as they're going through that process, just keep everyone up to date on what's going on. But it seems like things are going really well, especially with the amount of growth that's had to happen in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then Planning Commission and Cable Commission and Mo, she's absent. Is there any updates on?
I know we had the meeting when we had our budget workshop on April 15th, and she came over
Right.
here, but I don't know what was going
Yeah,
on in that meeting.
Sign.
We signed, yeah, they
Oh, the
approved a
sign.
sign
That's what
for,
it was.
what is it called?
18 North, whatever. I can't remember the
Revive or something
little
like
shop.
that,
Yeah, Revive. Here you go.
And they're supposed to, they're gonna have a meeting next week.
Okay. Thank you. DDA, Jacob?
Yeah, actually, feel free to come here, anything you would like, but we've been going through some facade grants. We also have a demolition grant out there as well too, for the block company. And I forget the name of the business that we approved a facade grant for as well too. And then I know that some of the committees are also working on their own initiatives. I know you, for instance, are working on a plaque, right?
Yeah, so we have an ad hoc home history committee through the DDA that is doing lots of different work, coming up with the celebration of the village for next year, also America 250, so different plaques around town, different label information, telling a little bit more about history. We're working on redoing a historic mural downtown that was finally power washed completely off a few years ago. So really trying to celebrate and uplift the community. I know that there's a time capsule, so I guess before next meeting and Mo's officially done, we need to know where that time capsule is so that we can open it next year. Lots of really great stuff happening from that, and Allison is helping support that effort as well. And then I really, with the DDA, I think the collaboration of all the budget workshops and meetings, like this seems like such a smooth process this year that it was, this seemed to really work. And I know like the rest of the DDA, from what I understood, they also really appreciated the process
Great.
too.
And so Kim and staff are working on all of the events that are upcoming. The trolley is up and running, and we have our partnership with Lake Orion as well too. So things are on the up and up, and a lot of things going on.
Absolutely. Great, thank you. Pollyant Trail?
Yes, and I brought my agenda with my notes on it this time. Pollyant Trail does a lot, and it's amazing they can do what they do. They don't have a ton of funding. They're working on the master plan update, which is an ongoing process there. They did approve one of the historic plaque locations that CJ had presented to them off Drainer Road. They have a good spot for that. They approved a logo redesign, an updated design to an Eagle Scout project. It's going to be made part of a fundraising project for this young man. And it's the logo for the trail uses isn't going to be changed, but this specific one is going to be changed specifically for his project through the fundraiser. And then they're purchasing some new signs. They've had a couple encroachments in the last year or two with people putting fences on their property and stuff, and have to go to court and stuff. So one of those was been removed last month, and the other one is about to be, I believe. And then they're looking at a 2025 trail resurfacing project, and they approved that at the last meeting. It's $113,000 total work. $80,000 of that was ARPA funds from Oxford Township to the Pollyant Trail, so it helps fund a lot of that. And other than that, it's a good group, and they get a lot done.
There's no meetings with the ZBA, so we'll move on to our manager clerk and attorney reports. Mr. Medor?
Yes, and I believe in my packet I included a long list bullet item to you guys, I hope. Rather than trying to remember all of that, it had to do with Park Street and Moyer Street coming up and some other things going on. So if I hadn't received any questions or feedback, so hopefully you guys got the gist of all that. That's about really all I have. We're continuing to work on the projects and going forward.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I did have one question. On Lincoln Street at Mechanic, the drainage.
Oh, yes.
Is that, are we gonna have to budget for that? How is that?
Yeah, we're looking at some options. We were looking, because we're famous for having these dry wells because they work, right? You get a collection pipe here, it only goes 200 feet and it doesn't have an outlet, so it just soaks in. And there's a couple of spots down there by DA that it's not enough capacity in there. So when it's heavy rains, it backs up. So we're trying to reach either down Lincoln Street to connect to one that does eventually have an outlet to M24, or reach north along a Mechanic up towards Moyer Street. We're looking at our weighing the options right now. Once we have something of a plan, it would be funded by the local road system. But we'd have to come back and look and see. It's just one of those things. It came on the radar because of the South Washington Triangle, the 32 condo units, the conditional use you guys or zoning you approved. They were already going to be starting at Lincoln Street doing sewer and water extensions down and around. And Rudy thought, hey, they're already there in the intersection. Why not have them also do this 200 foot of storm sewer extension? So that's kind of what prompted it. It's been a problem. It doesn't really get into anybody's yard or things like that, but it's just it floods the intersection at times. Yep.
Can we expect, samples from Oxford Lake Drive to be there?
He said he planned on having them by the 23rd, but he hoped to get us yet this week, I think, or next week. Yeah, originally because they were done a week and a half ago, and I reached out to him, and originally their plan was they were going to get them back to us by the 23rd, which he said he can get them to us, I believe, later this week.
Okay. Taxes are officially settled for last year. I worked with the county and got that all figured out. Me and Vicki are gonna go do some training at the end of the month at the county, just for the other end of all the stuff that we didn't do before, and learn how to do that. And I got a new free payment option that I'm gonna work with Joe to get on the website, and it's, if they wanna do an electronic check, and it doesn't cost residents anything to pay the utility bills or their taxes. So instead of paying the fees for credit cards and the ACH. So I got that
Great.
in the works right now, so. Other than that, we did a lot of shredding last week.
Always a good thing.
Oh yeah, it would
A lot of shredding.
the whole length of that wall out about 3 feet,
I
about
love
3 feet high or 4 feet high would have been what I have a
Like
picture of
cleaning
it.
your garage.
Great, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Davis, any news?
So I have something. Each year, Eagle, state of Michigan, holds an annual conference, an environmental conference. And this year it's in Muskegon. It started today and it concludes on Thursday, right before lunch, with a 1-hour keynote speech, which I've been asked to deliver. So I'd like to get out of here so I can meet with this fifth grader and get some pointers on how to handle that podium. Because I've got to do 1 hour and I could use a little help. Maybe we can chat after. Thank you.
You got
But
it.
it does involve the materials management planning headed by the county. And eventually this community is going to be presented with a county plan
Yeah.
on how we're going to manage all of our waste, recyclables, and trash in Oakland County. And you're going to be asked to approve that plan. And the planning stage goes on for about 2 years, and I've been instrumental in getting those plans underway in the state. So you're going to eventually be involved in this.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks. Okay, next move on to council comments. Let's start from the end.
Yeah, so 2 things. One, thank you, I know Rudy's not here, but thank you to Kelsey, to Joe, and just, we actually have crowd tonight. I just was super thankful when we had issues with our water, how responsive everyone was, how everything, like, just, it was absolutely fabulous. So if anyone does have any problems ever, I can't say kudos enough. I was not expecting such a rapid response.
And you were not treated special. You were treated like anybody else.
No, no. Knowing that Rudy made a really good point a couple weeks ago where, oh, if I don't know there's an issue, I can't, it's an issue, and so just trying to be diligent about that, but if there is something going on,
Yes.
to let all of us know so that we can hopefully address it if it's larger spread, like, instead of just thinking it's an isolated incident. Second, congratulations to the library on 100 years. This is my own PSA from my own end. Libraries, museums across the country have had financial funding cuts. So IMLS, NEH, NEA, standard funding sources for entities like our public library aren't getting the funding anymore. Michigan Humanities very well could shutter, which serves Oakland County, which has done programming at our own library for many years, at any point in the next couple months. So just congratulations, if you can go and support the library, I highly recommend it because those types of entities need it now more than ever.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of our young leaders for coming in here and speaking with us. That was awesome. I'm sure it'll be an exciting event for you. And
Well, Bruce, I'm extremely proud of what you're doing, and I'm very happy to support it. Or younger, you spoke very well. I'm very impressed with you guys.
I'll just mention, I know I mentioned this before, but we, some of us here, we attend a monthly Oxford Leaders Program, meeting rather. Brian's attended a lot of the meetings, the superintendent of the school district, our fire chief, our police chief, the Oxford Sheriff's Department, Terry Stiles from OCTV, the DDA,
Jack.
Joe, township supervisor, and I, we get together once a month in the morning and just talk all things Oxford and kind of share, you know, what's going on in the village, what's going on at the township, because so many things do overlap. And so I just wanted to let everybody know that those are still going on. I think they're very productive. You know, we're all Oxford, as Jack Curtis says, and I don't like to quote him necessarily, but it is helpful to share information across all of us. And so I think those meetings, Phil Castonia from Oxford Township Parks has really been the one to kind of lead the effort. And so it's going really well. So if there are ever issues, we want anybody, you know, in council or elsewhere have, where, you know, just know a group of us get together every month and talk about things. And so any issue that you may have or want to raise can be brought up there to kind of get some collaborative work going. So without any further delay, then I will make a motion to adjourn at 7:48. Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries. We are adjourned.
One efficient meeting.
Good job.